Hey guys, David here. A very happy Friday morning to you. I hope all is well. I am sharing a quick video to sort of update where I am in the status of the Power of Reach book creation. And I've been going through the process of sort of figuring out what members of my audience are looking for in terms of guidance. I initially started this book out with the idea of providing help to coaches, trainers, mentors who are trying to figure out how to use and leverage social media and social marketing to grow their business, reach, and help more people. And as I started sorting through it, I was going to instructively discuss each of the different types of platforms and how you use them. And I realized in talking with people, and this is the benefit of doing some research in the marketplace, that really there's plenty of information out there about how to use one particular platform or the other. But what was missing from so many of these trainings, instruction videos, and things that my clients have been encountering was a clear understanding of really the philosophy behind and the strategy behind doing some of these things. And so what I've decided to do, since the web is always changing, is really focus on the why and instead of the how-to. And we'll talk about the how-to a little bit, but I've restructured the book. And if you've seen an earlier video where you saw how I had outlined the initial book, I've actually changed it quite a bit and have been writing a lot about the structure of effective campaigns, because ultimately what I am learning during this phase of the process, as I'm talking to individuals who have either no idea what they're doing or who have found success in marketing through social media, is that there's really a lack of understanding of marketing in general, marketing principles, and understanding the why behind all this. So let me jump over quickly to the mind map that I have been working through. So here's the Power of Reach, and I've restructured the book to talk about how coaches market in general, what the concepts are behind marketing to begin with, and then why some coaches' approach are less efficient than others. And then we get a little bit more into the automation and the technology possibilities that exist, and how to structure an effective promotion marketing campaign through those channels. And a lot of what I'm talking about here, I think you'll find, is going to mirror what we do in real life, but there's a greater efficiency, and that's really the point behind the book in general, is how to reach and help more people, right? So then we're going to talk about the important Stephen Covey concept of beginning with the end in mind. So you need to know where you're going in order to be effective in your process in general, and so I've structured that. And then I'm going to jump to discussion of understanding the marketplace, understanding the client, and how much that informs. So there's often a very what many of my clients feel is like a silly exercise, which is creating that ideal client avatar. And it's interesting to be able to sort of fantasize and think about who that ideal client is, but the understanding behind why we're doing that is really what I'm going to dive into here, because it's not really just about the fantasizing about that client, but taking that information and using it in very tangible ways, both in your copywriting, in the positioning of the content that you're creating, either on a blog post, in videos, on social media. And it's also a brilliant way to get a sense of the persona that you're trying to market to through Facebook and Twitter advertising, where you can do some really fine-tuned targeting. So that's really what that section is going to be about. We'll then jump into how to form the plan and the steps of a plan, and why a plan does not involve being everywhere, but just finding one or maybe two solid places that you are going to excel in connecting with that audience, and really invest your energy and your time and your focus there, both for efficiency as well as so that you have a mastery of that platform. So that's really what this section is going to be about. I'm then going to talk about ways to amplify the message, because remember that we are interconnected now in so many ways on the web, and there's ways that you can take all of this work that you've been doing up above and simply add, 10-minute additional activity to repurpose a piece of content, or have another person or a community of people help support your content and get it out to more people. And there's strategies behind that. And if you are positioning all of your content effectively, and then simply put some additional pieces in place, you can do a very good job at amplifying that message. And then finally, what is a book that's training people on this subject, if it's not a primer for moving to the next step? And so I'll be introducing some ideas about where you can go next with what you have learned in this book. So that's the book structure. If you're, again, not familiar with mind mapping, this is something I learned maybe just about a year and a half ago from Bob Jenkins, who teaches mind mapping, Bob the teacher, who I know through the NAMS community. And I thought it was kind of a silly way to take notes, but I'm now doing this on almost every project, and I've created entire courses through this, and I've taught a course or two simply through mind mapping. This is a free version of a piece of software called XMind. And you can just find it at, I think it's xmind.com. So I hope this has been helpful, instructive, and if you have any questions whatsoever, this is the reason for this group. This is the reason I am creating these videos. I'm creating the content that I am with coaches out there who are using social marketing in their business to not only learn myself, but also share what I'm learning, get feedback, and try to understand where the holes may be in your understanding out there, so that I can help plug those holes. So please, I'd love your reaction. I'd love your response. And I look forward to continuing this discussion here in our Facebook group. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this.